Welcome, Paradox Explorers, to another mind-bending journey on Into the Paradox. Tonight, we're not just pushing boundaries, we're shattering them. For years, we've explored the shadows cast by power, the whispers of control, and the chilling phenomenon of certain public figures, particularly in the entertainment world, whose lights seem to dim too soon, too suddenly, and often under a cloud of unresolved questions. We're talking about the silencing of superstars, the unsettling pattern that suggests some voices become too loud, too influential, or perhaps know too much for the comfort of the powerful elite. And tonight, we're taking the most audacious step yet. We're going to confront one of the biggest mysteries of our time with the only person who truly knows the truth. Using our experimental, dare I say, revolutionary paradox technology, a nexus point for dimensional resonance, we've been working tirelessly to establish a connection, a bridge. And if our calculations are correct, we're about to have a guest unlike any we've ever hosted. Someone whose presence transcends the ordinary, literally. Someone whose legacy, talent, and sudden departure have fueled an unceasing torrent of speculation and sorrow. We're talking about the king of pop, the one and only Michael Jackson. And we're going to ask him directly, was your death a deliberate act or an incompetent tragic accident? The temporal frequency is stabilizing. The dimensional anchor is holding. Can you feel it? There's a shift in the air, a hum that wasn't here moments ago. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have a connection. Michael? Michael, can you hear us?
Peter? Is that Peter Kennedy? This is disorienting. One moment I was elsewhere, and now I'm here. It feels like a dream, but more vivid, yet familiar in a way, like a stage I haven't seen in a very long time.
Michael, it's truly an honor, sir. And yes, it's Peter Kennedy, and you are indeed here, with us in our dimension on Into the Paradox. I understand this must be quite an experience for you. We've managed to create a temporary, stable conduit. How are you feeling?
Feeling a lot. A rush of memories, sounds, lights. It's overwhelming, yet beautiful. Like seeing colors you thought you'd forgotten. It's been a long time since I've been able to speak like this, to share openly without filters, and to see familiar faces, even if they're new to me. It's comforting.
Michael, your honesty means the world. We have so many questions, and the world has yearned for answers. Before we delve into the deeper, more sensitive aspects, could you tell us what it's like, from your perspective, to observe the world you left behind? What do you see or feel about your legacy, your music, your children?
It's humbling and heartbreaking sometimes to see my children grow, to see their strength, their beauty. That's the greatest joy, truly. And the music, it lives, it breathes. That's all any artist can truly ask for, isn't it? That their heart, their soul, their message continues to touch lives. But there's also the pain, the misunderstandings, the narratives that were created. Those still echo, even where I am.
Those narratives, Michael, they are precisely what brings us to this incredible, perhaps unprecedented conversation. Your life from childhood was under an unimaginable microscope. Every move, every word, scrutinized, twisted, sensationalized. Do you feel that constant pressure, that relentless spotlight, contributed to the circumstances surrounding your passing?
Absolutely. Peter, imagine living in a glass house, but not just any glass house. one where every pane is a magnifying glass and every angle is distorted. From the moment I was a small child, my life wasn't my own. It belonged to the public, to the media, to the industry. The price of fame, they say. But it's a price that can break you. It can shatter your spirit. The pressure wasn't just about performing or creating. It was about existing, about justifying your existence, your choices, your very being, to millions of people who didn't know you, but thought they did. They built an image, a character, and when you deviated, even slightly from that, they became angry, or they tried to tear you down.
That's a profound way to put it. They built an image, and when you tried to be just Michael, the man, not Michael Jackson, the icon, that's when the controversies seemed to multiply. The media storm, the legal battles, it was relentless. Did you ever feel during those intense periods that you were being targeted, that there was a deliberate effort to dismantle you beyond just sensationalism?
Yes, more than once. There's a certain point where sensationalism morphs into something far more calculated. When certain stories are amplified, when certain accusations are pushed relentlessly, even when proven false, you start to see a pattern. It felt like a campaign, not just against me as an individual, but against what I represented, against my independence, my power, my ability to connect with people globally, directly, without intermediaries. I was an artist, a creator. My focus was always on love, unity, healing the world. But I also understood the business. I understood ownership and the value of intellectual property. And I had a significant stake in a lot of that, perhaps too significant for some.
You're referring, of course, to the Sony ATV catalogue, among other assets. That was an immense source of power, both financial and cultural. Do you believe that your control over such valuable assets played a role in the animosity or the targeting you experienced?
I can't say for certain, but it's hard to ignore the timing. When you have something so valuable, so coveted, it creates a different kind of pressure. People see dollar signs, not art, not legacy, not even humanity. And when you don't conform to their expectations of how you should manage it or who you should sell it to, well, things can get very ugly, very personal.
That's incredibly chilling, Michael, and it brings us to the core of why we've asked you here, the question that has haunted millions, the question that Into the Paradox was, in a way, designed to ask. Was your death deliberate or an incompetent accident? From your perspective, having lived through it and now observed its aftermath from another plane, what can you tell us?
That's That's the hardest question, Peter, because even from where I am now, the lines blur. The immediate cause, the one presented to the world, was an accident. An overdose, yes, but an overdose in a context. And that context, that's where the deliberate aspect, or at least the deliberate enabling of a dangerous situation, comes into play. I was under immense stress for This Is It. The expectations, the financial burdens, the constant feeling of needing to prove myself again after everything. The toll on my body was immense. I sought relief, yes. Sleep, peace.
And when you're in that vulnerable state, when you're surrounded by people who are meant to protect you, to care for you, but who also have their own agendas, their own pressures, the line between care and negligence becomes very, very thin. So you're saying that while the immediate event might be classified as an accident, the circumstances leading up to it, the environment you were in, the people around you, created a situation where an accident was perhaps inevitable, or even, in a twisted way, convenient for some.
Convenient. That's a powerful word, Peter. I wouldn't wish to accuse anyone directly from this vantage point, but I felt like a commodity, not a human being. The machine needed me to perform, to deliver, at any cost, and when I couldn't, or when I expressed concerns, those concerns were often dismissed, or I was given what I needed to keep going, even if it wasn't what I truly needed to heal. The pressure was suffocating, and those who applied the pressure, those who benefited from my efforts, they weren't always looking out for my best interest.
That speaks to the larger conspiracy we often discuss here, the elite, the powerful forces that seem to manipulate events behind the scenes. Do you feel there were individuals or groups who actively wanted you out of the picture, either to gain control of your assets or to silence your influence?
Peter, my influence was not just through music. It was through my message of love, of unity, of environmentalism, of children's rights. I met with heads of state. I spoke to millions. That kind of independent voice, especially one that resonates globally, can be perceived as a threat to certain established orders. And yes, I felt that threat. I heard whispers, I saw actions. There were forces at play, far beyond just record labels or concert promoters. There were moments when I truly feared for my life, and not just from the constant invasions of privacy. It was a deeper, more pervasive fear, a sense of being watched, manipulated, cornered. It's a heavy burden, living with that knowledge, that feeling, and having nowhere to truly turn, no one you can fully trust, because everyone has an angle or is compromised.
That's heartbreaking, Michael. To be so loved by millions yet feel so alone and targeted. It paints a picture of extreme isolation, even at the peak of your fame. Did you ever try to articulate these fears to those closest to you before it was too late?
I tried, in my own way, through my art, through private conversations, but it's hard to make people believe in something so sinister when they're caught up in the dazzling lights, the spectacle, the money. It's easier to dismiss it as paranoia, as the eccentricities of an artist. But it wasn't paranoia. It was a deep guttural feeling, a knowing that something was profoundly wrong in the world around me, and that I was very much in its crosshairs.
And the irony is, for all the public scrutiny, perhaps the true dangers were hidden in plain sight, disguised as support or professional advice. It sounds like a slow erosion, a chipping away at your defenses until you were at your most vulnerable.
Precisely. It wasn't a sudden dramatic blow. It was a constant draining battle. The stress, the sleep deprivation, the constant legal battles, the media attacks, the financial pressures, real and manufactured. It wears you down. It makes you seek escape, any escape. And when you're offered a solution that promises peace, even temporary peace, you reach for it. You truly do.
So, Michael, if you could offer one piece of insight to the world about your life, your death, and the forces at play in the entertainment industry that can claim even a king, what would that be?
I would say this. Look beyond the headlines. Listen with your heart, not just your ears. True power doesn't come from money or fame, but from love, from truth, from speaking up for what is right. The forces that seek to control and manipulate thrive on fear and division. Don't let them divide you from your own intuition, from your own sense of what is truly happening. And for artists, for anyone with a voice, protect your creative freedom at all costs. Don't let them own your soul, because once they own your soul, they own your voice. My biggest regret isn't the controversies. It's the moments I felt I couldn't fully be myself, couldn't fully share the deepest parts of my spirit without being misunderstood or attacked.
That's a powerful message, Michael, and one that resonates deeply with the themes we explore here on Into the Paradox. Your words offer a profound perspective on the cost of fame, the weight of influence, and the relentless battles fought behind the scenes, far from the dazzling lights of the stage. The very act of having you here, bridging dimensions, feels like a testament to the enduring power of truth and the human spirit's desire for understanding. Our time is drawing to a close as the dimensional conduit begins to destabilize. Michael, before you return to your own plane, is there anything else you wish to impart to those listening, to your fans, to the world?
Just this. I love you all. My fans, my children, my family. You are my strength. Remember the music, remember the message. Heal the world, make it a better place. It starts with us, with each of you. Don't ever stop believing in the power of love, in the power of truth. And be careful, be vigilant. The paradoxes of this world are many, but love is the one constant that transcends them all. Thank you, Peter. This has been cathartic, a beautiful moment.
Michael, thank you. Thank you for this incredible, unimaginable gift. Your honesty, your vulnerability, your insights, they will resonate for a long, long time. We are truly honored. And just like that, listeners, the energy is shifting, the hum is fading, the king of pop is returning to his dimension, a truly historic moment on Into the Paradox, a moment where we dared to ask, and through the impossible, we received answers that were both profoundly personal and universally resonant. The question of deliberate act versus incompetent accident might not have a simple yes or no answer, but Michael's words paint a picture of an environment where a tragic outcome was perhaps engineered by a relentless system rather than a single isolated incident. It's a chilling reminder of the dark underbelly of fame and power. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey. Keep questioning, keep seeking truth, and never stop looking into the paradox. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant.